Welcome everyone to today's Explainer. We're doing something a little different today. We're not just reviewing tech, we're unlocking a literal roadmap to a massive career upgrade in India's IT sector. If you're an IT pro who loves structured learning and, let's be honest, wants to absolutely maximize your earning potential, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to decode the highly lucrative, kinda secretive world of Guidewire.
Okay, let's dive right into this massive number, 60 lakhs per annum. Now, your first instinct might be to think, no way, that's just some mythical best-case scenario reserved for hotshot tech founders, right? Well, actually, it's not. This is the grounded, everyday reality for top-tier Guidewire architects in India right now. While freshers might start around that 4 to 7 lakh mark, the acceleration curve in this ecosystem is just staggering. We are going to break down exactly how you can map out your career to hit those upper echelons.
To really understand why a number like that is even possible, we have to look at the contrast. Say you're a general full-stack engineer, maybe a Java developer, or a React specialist. You're definitely in high demand, sure, but you're also facing intense, constant competition, which kind of keeps the average pay at a moderate level. Guidewire is a whole different ballgame. I mean, thousands of engineers learn Python every single year, but very few learn Guidewire, mainly because it's usually taught on the job. It's a highly niche skill. The talent is scarce, and because it runs absolutely mission-critical systems, it commands exceptionally high pay.
Section 1. Why is the pay so high? Let's get into the structural market forces here.
It all starts right here with property and casualty, or P&C insurance. Now, Guidewire isn't just some random piece of software. It's the core underlying platform that literally powers policy administration, claims handling, and billing for over 570 of the largest insurers on the planet. The companies hiring in this space, they don't just need a coder who can write a basic loop. They desperately need professionals who genuinely understand P&C domain logic. We're talking about complex stuff like underwriting rules and intricate claims workflows.
Let's break down the actual structural reasons for this massive pay premium. First off, there's a really thin supply of this niche skill. Second, you're combining deep domain knowledge with high-level technology expertise, which is a super rare and highly valued dual threat. Third, the business impact is literally mission-critical. Just think about it for a second. If an insurer's core system stops issuing policies or halts claims, the financial loss is absolutely enormous. Because of that, companies will happily, and I mean happily, pay a premium to avoid any risk on a multi-million-dollar core replacement project. And finally, these implementations run for years and stay in production for decades, so you're looking at incredible job stability. Moving on to Section 2, Salaries by Experience Level. We're about to map out exactly how your compensation scales over time. So here's your blueprint for earning potential. Freshers start strong, usually between 4 to 7 lakhs. But the real magic? That happens right at that mid-level to tech lead jump. The post-5-year acceleration mark is very, very real. Once you, as a developer, survive some real-world production go-lives, manage complex integrations, and truly grasp that insurance domain, your market value just spikes dramatically. It pushes you straight into the 20 to 28 lakh range, and eventually up to 60 lakhs or more as a top-tier architect. Experience is, without a doubt, the single clearest predictor of pay here.
All right, let's shift gears to Section 3, roles, locations, and companies. Let's figure out where these lucrative positions actually are.
Now, what's really interesting about this data is the geographic pay disparity. Bangalore clearly leads the pack, closely followed by Hyderabad and Gurugram. And you might be wondering, why those cities? Well, it's because they have a massive, incredibly dense concentration of product companies and global insurance captive centers, often called Global Capability Centers or GCCs. Working in these top 3 cities can actually carry a 10 to 25% salary premium over Tier 2 cities. It's huge.
But hey, the type of company you work for matters just as much as your zip code. You know, your career might start in major IT services, places like TCS, Infosys, or Wipro, and they're great. They offer the easiest entry points and fantastic project stability. However, if your goal is to absolutely maximize your pay, you're eventually going to want to pivot towards consulting firms or product and captive insurers. These organizations often pay 20 to 40% more for comparable experience, assuming, of course, you've got that deeper specialized domain knowledge we talked about.
Okay, I literally cannot stress this next point enough. Almost no insurer runs Guidewire in total isolation. It constantly has to connect to payment gateways, rating engines, and complex downstream analytics. Because of this reality, mastering the Guidewire cloud platform and REST APIs pushes your salary way beyond pure configuration roles.
Cloud engineers are currently riding the crest of an industry-wide migration from on-premise systems to SaaS, often reaching 25 to 35 plus locks well before they even hit the architect level. It's a real game changer.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 4, the roadmap to maximizing pay. Let's pivot from the mystery to the actual blueprint.
Here is your high-leverage tech stack. First, you absolutely need foundational fluency in Gosu, Guidewire's native language, paired up with Java. But you definitely cannot stop there. To become a top earner, you've got to add integration tools, things like REST APIs and Apache Kafka for real-time data flows. You're going to need Docker and Kubernetes for cloud deployment. And weaving all of this together, the whole shebang, is that deep P&C domain knowledge. The absolute top earners in this field are never, ever single-skill specialists. They are a formidable blend of all these capabilities.
And hey, don't forget you actually have to prove it. Earning a Guidewire certified associate credential or specialized cloud certifications provides a highly tangible financial return on investment. In an industry where talent can be pretty tough to assess, certification gives employers verified, rock-solid proof of your competence. That proof translates directly into faster shortlisting, much stronger negotiating leverage, and generally, you'll see a 10 to 20% compensation boost right off the bat compared to your uncertified peers.
So if you want to move up those salary bands rapidly, you have to treat your career as a deliberate progression. Try following these 4 actionable steps. Step 1, master the insurance fundamentals. Basically, know exactly how a claim works before you try to code it. Step 2, become multi-module. Don't just know Policy Center. Go out and learn Claim Center and Billing Center too. Step 3, add cloud and DevOps to your toolkit. And step 4, transition into solution architecture. Deliberate stacked skill acquisition is the true secret to massive salary growth here.
When we map out the timeline of that journey, you'll notice how the growth isn't just some steady, straight, boring line. The jump from beginner to intermediate is steady, sure, but moving from intermediate where you're handling integrations to advanced where you're actively managing cloud and DevOps, that is where your compensation roughly doubles. The acceleration heavily rewards those who stay in the ecosystem and continuously compound their expertise year over year.
So what does all this mean for you? The global insurance industry is fundamentally transforming right now. They are pouring millions upon millions into migrating decades-old legacy systems straight to the cloud. The demand cycle we're looking at here is set for decades, not just a couple of years. The roadmap is crystal clear, the data is totally undeniable.